And welcome back to coverage here of Japanese Nationals. We're at Wizards of the Coast headquarters here in Renton, Washington. That's Paul Chiano, Marshall Sutcliffe. We're happy to have you along as we work our way through the top 8 because it is time now for our semifinal match. I mentioned it before the break, but I want to say it again. There's 2 things that you should know. First thing, this was pre-recorded, so we're watching this after the fact. We want your feedback. We're trying a little bit of a different take here on a live tournament coverage by pre-recording it, showing it to you now. We don't know what happens in this, and if you don't want to know, make sure you avoid spoilers. If you want to keep up though on what's going on, you can go on the Wizards website. We don't have anything advanced what we've shown here there. Pretty cool though. We get to just bang right through these things, and that means that we're ready here as we head in to our semifinal, which brings us to the other point that I wanted to mention, which is that we did have a concession there. That was Yuya Watanabe saying, I want to play with you, Shota. I'm going to concede to you, put him into the finals, and guaranteed his slot on the World Magic Cup team. So
big.
We have Yuya Watanabe and Shota Yasuoka, perhaps the 2 best, active Japanese Magic players representing Japan at the minimum. And we are going to get a watch right now the other semi to see who's the person who gets to, study at the knee of those 2 absolute masters. And let's take a look at that matchup here. It's Takeshi Hattori playing Mardu Vehicles. His opponent on the other side is Kenta Harane on the other side of the table there. Hattori, pretty new to the game as far as accomplishments goes. We don't really have a lot to say about him. Kenta Harane does have 2 GP top 8s, 1 individual and 1 team, both in the last couple of years, and both in Japan, so maybe not much of a traveling Magic pro. But
he is a gold level pro.
That's right.
So I think I would imagine
playing all the pro tours.
Based on the accomplishments, I would guess that Yuya and Shota would want Kenta, and that would probably just be the best team currently.
You just want the most experienced players.
Yeah, you're right. Of course.
That's just how they go. I mean, they'll take on whoever they get.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Despite who wins here, Japan still is likely going to be one of the favorites. You have 2 of the best players in the world already locked in.
Yeah, it could be those 2 and a ham sandwich, and they would crush everybody.
You just sit in the middle, and you would just be like, what do I do?
Yeah, what does a ham sandwich do? Well, attack. I don't know. Let's take a look at the deck list here for our players. We'll start off with Takeshi, who's on Mardu Vehicles. Anything of note here? By the way, the matchup is 4-color energy for Harane. So if that changes anything, like we see the 4 thought knots here, for example.
Yeah. So there's a thought knots here. This looks very similar to Matt Severa's list that he won the Grand Prix with. I believe was it last week?
It was.
Yeah, it was last week. So he's playing the thought knots here. He's actually playing 0 copies of Gideon Ally of Zendikar in the main deck.
That's kind of the tech.
You're seeing it in the sideboard, and then of course Kenta Harane. This is just kind of a deck that's been quite popular, actually. A lot of people opting to splash black for the Scarab God to kind of go over the top in the mirror, I think. So this is a kind of a deck that we've already kind of seen throughout the course of the tournament. And this is just Teamer energy, basically, against Mardu Vehicles. Classic matchup.
Okay. Well, why don't we head down? It is time for the semifinals here from Japanese Nationals. And welcome back to coverage here of Japanese Nationals. We are into our semifinals. We had a pretty blockbuster semifinal lined up with Yuya Watanabe versus Shota Yasuoka, but Yuya scoops to him and put him in the finals. That means that we've got one other match to show you here, and it is Takeshi Hattori.
Right.
It looks
and
like
this is the match to determine which one of these players will make it onto the Japanese national team.
Huge amount on the line in this match.
Right.
Oftentimes the semifinals are another stepping stone to get to the big match, which is of course the finals. Match. This is huge, especially for 2 players, still on their way up in their Magic career, getting a chance to go travel and play with legends of the game.
Yeah, just imagine how much you can just learn from those.
Yeah, it's just like as a person, the upside is massive, right? Yeah. And then on top of it, just the awesome experience of getting to play in really one of the coolest tournaments we run all year, which is the World Magic Cup for your country. Right. Really fun stuff.
And just the typical starts from both sides. Takesi with no 1-drop, but turn to Heart of Kirin. Let's see if he's got a creature here to Crew the Heart. Yeah, and looking through Kenta's list, it's basically the same 4-color energy list that we've seen a lot. It's splashing black for the Scarab God, and he's also got the Woodland Wanderers that we saw in the previous matches.
Card is huge.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny, Woodland Wanderer, like card I thought I might see in Standard.
Right. Oh.
And now that Standard's almost over, I finally saw it.
It looks like Takesi missed his 3rd land drop, and all he could muster up was a Thraben Inspector there. So
yeah. This could be over quite quickly here, Paul.
yeah.
I mean, this deck doesn't need a ton of mana.
You just slammed that land
the
down.
sigh of relief from
okay. I get
Takeshi
to
there.
play some Magic. Let's go. There it
And
is.
Nice one, too. He's going to play Pia Nalar. Now, does he just start jamming here with the Heart of Kiran?
Yeah.
It's got to be, right?
We want to the Mardu deck is the aggressive deck. You don't want to be just kind of keeping that back on defense, I don't think.
He's behind. Like, he's going to take 5 damage.
Yeah. That's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But there's also just a chance that Kenta is holding something like an Abrade or something, so this might be the only chance he has to actually get damage through with the Heart of Kiran.
Or to just get anything out of it at all.
Kenta looking through his options here. This feels like a Glory Bringer. All right, and there it was. Glory Bringer likely going to be attacking, getting rid of the Pianalar, I would guess. And is he also going to be jamming with both? Yep. Looks like he is. Kenta trying to figure out how to exert the Glory Bringer. All right, so that was a really big turn. But Takeshi, oh wow, run back-to-back lands. That is huge. And he does have a turn off from that Glorybringer as it is exerted. So he can still try to raise here, depending on what he has in hand. And I think that's a Thought-Knot Seer. Yeah, that's big. Oh no!
Wow,
the
handful of removal.
Classic. Look at your hand, and there's 2 removal spells.
Right. That means that Thought-Knot Seer is not long for this world.
Yeah, and he's definitely going to be taking one of the Harness Lightnings here.
Yeah, that Servant doesn't look super great.
Yeah, it's not going to be doing a whole lot here. So that down goes the Harness Lightning. Crew, are we getting in for 6 damage here? No, just 5. Okay.
Kenta points out, hey, that guy has vigilance. Shouldn't matter much here.
Right. But does Takeshi have an answer to that Glorybringer? Because that Glorybringer alone can deal with the Thought-Knot Seer, and then Kenta can opt to just keep the Harness Lightning and use it for the Heart of Kiran. Which is probably what he wants to do, just because that is the only way to get the Heart of Kiran off the board. Because you can actually use the Glorybringer to get the Heart of Kiran out of the way. So nice start out of Kenta, but it looks like he had a lot of mana sources.
This one is slowed to a bit of a pace here.
Yeah. Really pivotal. I think he's probably, if he just drew a land, probably attacking with both, play Servant of the Conduit, land, and then pass. Keep up the Harness Lightning.
It looks like Takeshi's going to go ahead and cash in a chump block here to save 3 damage, taking 2, going down to 10.
Yeah. And Kenta's probably just, Servant, pass is, unless he drew something awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't know what he drew for the turn.
Certainly thinking a lot.
Yeah.
Is he considering maybe just killing the Thought-Knot here?
Yeah, I think he's considering getting the Thought-Knots here because that gives him the potential to draw a better threat than just playing Servant of the Conduit. Let's say he draws a Rogue Refiner or a Whirler Virtuoso. That would be nice.
Like in this case, he drew a Tune with Ether, which might just be, again, a more efficient use of his mana to get some energy, still hit that land drop, still play the
Yeah.
The servant. I mean, what would be the downside here?
Well, the downside here now is if Takeshi did find a creature to crew the Heart of Kirin, he can use the Heart of Kirin to trade with the Glorybringer because he no longer has the Harness Lightning. But this is also a very reasonable play because Takeshi's not working with a whole lot on board anymore.
Right, he can't actually even crew up the Heart of Kirin at all.
Exactly.
Okay, good turn there for Kenta Harane, looking to really kind of take a quick one here from Takeshi Hattori.
Does Takeshi find a land? Because I think he was holding an Archangel Avacyn, which would be pretty reasonable on this board. 4 mana. 2/2 Ballista.
Does that do anything here?
Yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. So what Takeshi can do is if Kenta opts to attack, Takeshi can crew the Heart of Kirin, block the Glorybringer, then use the counters on the Walking Ballista to get the Rogue Refiner off the board.
Okay.
If he does that, he's only going to be taking the 4 damage off the Servant of Conduit and go down to 4.
Give himself a chance here.
Right.
He would be down to just a 1/1 Thopter after the dust settled. But when
Right.
you're this far behind, you'll take that.
Yeah.
Also, interestingly, if Kenta predicts this play, he may just kill the Thopter with the Glorybringer here, right?
Yeah, and the thing is, even if he does that, Takeshi still has the opportunity to crew the Heart of Kirin.
Yeah, it's just it leaves Takeshi with no board.
He would not be able to block.
But that's
it would
again,
be
it's better than dying.
Right, it would be 2 Servant of the Conduits. Takeshi would be at 4, and there would be no board.
And there'd be nothing
on
else.
Takeshi's side.
Yeah, he does have a clue. Woohoo.
Yeah.
Can't take that from him.
Yeah. I imagine Kenta's likely just attacking with everything here. Takeshi doesn't really have a great block. I mean, I guess the alternative is Takeshi blocks the Rogue Refiner with Heart of Kirin, but then use the Walking Ballista to get a Servant, but that doesn't seem great. I think if you have the opportunity to trade Heart of Kirin for Glorybringer, you should do it.
Definitely. Yep. And the Glorybringer's going to breathe fire on that Thopter.
Yeah. Kenta doing exactly what you predicted there. Going for the Thopter.
He's
Got a crew.
He's going to want a crew before blocks here.
Yeah. So you can choose to go down to 2 if you really wanted to save the Heart of Kirin, but I think you just want to trade because you don't even have creatures to crew that Heart of Kirin.
Right. It becomes a very dead card. And with Kenta Harane at 11, it seems unlikely that even with an exerted Glorybringer, Takeshi, who's likely to fall down to 4 here, is going to really be able to put together 11 damage.
Right.
So I think he just has to kind of take one for the team here and block.
And he's going to 1.
He's not going to kill the Rogue Refiner here?
I'm not sure.
If he goes to 1, does he
doesn't have a Spire.
outs?
He has a clue for if he had a Spire of Industry, but he doesn't. Yeah. Okay. So he's going down to 4, empty board.
All right. So it all came out in the wash, just like how we thought.
We figured it out.
We did. But still, this is the best he could do, but not a good position. He's still facing lethal with no board.
Yeah. If Kenta just plays anything
here,
it's going to be really tough. Just another Servant of the Conduit.
It's probably lethal. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a little bit better.
That's way better. Now Takeshi just can't win.
Yeah.
He's going to be at 2, facing 2 lethal threats, and Chandra is lethal as well, so nothing he can do.
Yeah, that missed land drop was huge.
That was massive. Wow, and Kenta just did not let up the pressure and got him. So that means that we can take a look at our players' sideboards here. Let's start off with Takeshi Hattori.
Yeah, so Takeshi's got the big Planeswalker option in the sideboard if he wants.
Is that what he wants in this type of matchup? Like, does he want to go bigger, more powerful? Does he want to go lower to the ground, faster? He's facing a mid-range deck of sorts.
He is facing a mid-range deck. He is on the play, and oftentimes on the play, you just kind of want to be the aggressor. So he could
Okay.
opt to do that. The thing is, he's got cards like Gideon Ally of Zendikar, but you also just have cards like Thought Not Seer.
Okay.
So you just have a lot of 4-drops you're competing for. So it'll be interesting to see what Takeshi opts to go in his sideboard. But he has a lot of great options.
Let's look at Kenta's really quickly here. Anything jumping out? Any silver bullets here?
He's got a few trackers if he thinks the game's going to go a little bit longer. Struggle to Survive is a reasonable card if you think Heart of Kirin is a problematic card. It's just an instant speed way to kind of deal with those cards.
Okay.
Another nice card that it hits is Archangel Avacyn. An instant speed way to kill Archangel Avacyn is really important because all you have are just those 4 Harness Lightnings, but oftentimes those are taxed in the matchup.
Okay, let's head in. It is time for game number 2 here from the semifinals. From Japanese Nationals, we've got Takeshi Hattori playing against Kenta Harane to see who has the honor, it must be said, of playing with Yuya Watanabe and Shota Yasuoka as those two gentlemen have secured their seats on the World Magic Cup team. And let's not forget, also play, as it turns out, Shota to see who's going to be your Japanese national champion. One of those cool titles that you get to carry around forever.
Oh, yeah.
And brag about to your friends forever.
I would never do such a thing.
You're actually not bad at that.
Excuse me?
About that. You're actually not that bad about that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just been so long, I've just forgotten.
Was it 10 years ago?
It was... Yep, it was... No, it was 11 years ago.
All right, so a quick start here for our players. Takeshi played a Scrap Heap Scrounger. It got hit by Harness Lightning, but he had a replacement and a land drop. And now we're back on Kenta's turn, who's... Well, he doesn't play quite as fast as Shota. Let's just put it that way.
Right. But no 1-drop out of Takeshi, but he's got those that resilient 2-drop Scrap Heap Scrounger.
So annoying, and
Doing
Kenta
so much work.
has a hard time dealing with those.
All right.
All right, we have a land drop.
Do we have a 3-drop?
We do.
All right.
Rogue Refiner, draw a card, go.
Yeah, so Takeshi probably going to be happy with just the trade here, as he can just get back one of the Scroungers if he really wants. Now is Kenta happy with that trade? I think he just wants to preserve his life total. I think the 4-colored energy deck likely has a slightly better late game, but that's not always the case necessarily because Mardu often has lots of Planeswalkers after sideboard.
How does Takeshi have nothing to do with those 4 mana?
He's probably
he's
keeping
missing
up
red.
Yeah, I think he's probably keeping up removal.
Okay. He made us have red cards.
Yeah, he could also have red cards. He could, if he had a 2-drop, he could have cast a 2-drop by returning a Scrap Heap Scrounger, and then the Spire of Industry would have given him red mana.
Right, of course. By the way, you never want to see that. Scrap Heap on Scrap Heap crime.
Oh yeah, you don't do that. That's just wrong.
Right.
All right, well let's. What is Kenta going to do? Is he just going to take it here? Okay.
Go to 17. Oh, that's a good thing for Takeshi.
Yeah, not the most aggressive start out of Takeshi. Not even a Planeswalker.
No.
All right, so what's he going to do?
I guess
So if he
sacrifice the
doesn't
clue?
crack the clue here immediately, that would tell me that if I'm on Kenta's side, that Takeshi very likely has something like an unlicensed disintegration because you want to keep up the mana, because otherwise you could maybe just crack the clue right away to try to find another 2-mana creature or card to spell card to cast.
Absolutely.
Takeshi also has a single copy of Anguished Unmaking, which very likely comes in. Just because it's an additional way to deal with Scarab Gods and the gigantic creature that is Woodland Wanderer.
Well, let's hope he has it right here
Or
because there's
Glorybringer.
Glorybringer.
Hey!
There it is. Unlicensed
There it is.
disintegration. Of course, he's going to do that before the thing even gets to get turned sideways. There will be no exerting here. And we got a Crocodile Dragon in the graveyard.
Yeah. All right. 3-mana kill a creature is just already. It also deals 3 damage. It's just that card is just such a beating.
It
Just
is a
every time I
beating.
read it, I'm just like, wow.
It really is.
All
So
right.
4 damage is the easy part. That's going to put Kenta down to 10.
Yeah. Does he have another threat here, or is that it? Oh. Nothing.
Maybe another unlicensed disintegration, perhaps?
I think that might be a Sky Sovereign in his hand.
Oh, boy.
But maybe he didn't want to play it onto an empty board, or it could just not be a Sky Sovereign. Ooh.
Radiant Flames to wipe the board.
Not great, as
No.
Takeshi could just get back the Scrap Heap Scrounger, and you get to see the power of this.
Oh, it's so
this
annoying.
So
It
good.
never goes away. Oh, but look at this. And a braid from Kenta
But
says,
Kenta's had to use so many resources
He
to
has.
deal with these Scrap Heap Scroungers,
He
and they
has.
just keep coming back.
that's right. It's now been Harness Lightning, a braid, and a sweeper there, the Radiant Flames that he's fired off at various copies of it.
And Takeshi really flooding out here, and I think he's deciding whether or not he might. What has he got here? Oh, that's what it was.
Okay.
Okay.
A little worse.
Yeah, Heart of Kirin, but no creatures left in the graveyard for the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Oh no, maybe it is still a Sky Sovereign, because he is. It looks like he is contemplating something here. Nope.
Go.
All right.
You could have a garage full of empty
He's
cars
just playing
here.
around Shatterstorm. That's all. Yeah, that's just.
That's going deep.
So no threat out of Kenta. So Takeshi still has time.
Nothing from Kenta?
They might just both be sitting on just kind of removal spells, cards
Reactive
like a
cards.
braid.
Well, Takeshi needs to find some way to get that Kirin flying.
Yeah, he just wants the Scrap Heap Scrap. Oh, hey.
Hello. You should try that next time you're playing, by the way.
yeah.
Just got to get your
I
order
just
in
want to make
early.
it clear that I have not actually watched this coverage.
Yes.
I'm just getting very
was-
lucky with these
That
calls.
was just razor thin coverage.
yeah.
So this is kind of interesting because I believe that what we have is Takeshi putting that on the stack and Kenta saying, okay, hold on a sec. I may respond. Which would make you think of cards like a braid.
Right.
Though
Although,
may as well just not a huge difference to waiting if it's a braid.
yeah. I mean, maybe he could be thinking about Archangel Avacyn, but Archangel Avacyn would also save Heart of Kirin, so that doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
As you can play it, indestructible trigger on the stack, and then crew the Heart of Kirin.
And Takeshi says, hey man, this is still on the stack or has it resolved
Yeah,
yet?
what can you even have here?
Yeah. Kenta really does take his time with each decision.
Right.
And you can, when the player re-picks up their card and holds it in the air, that's them saying,
Okay.
do something. All right. Well, he did decide to abrade it eventually.
Yeah.
Took him a while, but we got there. But that does mean that Takeshi has a Scrap Heap Scrounger. And
All right,
here
it's
we
Sky
go.
Sovereign time.
Big boat, go.
Okay, so he did have it.
So
All right.
Takeshi's like, got him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice. Actually, holding it kind of got Kenta to use the abrade on the Heart of Kirin. And so now he's got the coast is potentially clear, or a little more clear for this Sky Sovereign to get in.
And it is significantly better. It's a 2-turn clock versus a 3-turn clock.
Right. Scrap Heap Scroungers have just done so much work absorbing all of these removal effects. What do we got here? Okay. Could be anything.
We've got hope.
Ooh.
What did you see? What was it? I didn't
think
see.
that was that a struggle to survive?
Yes.
Wow. Wait.
He's going to survive, too. And get rid of both of them while the
Nice.
shields are down. Nice one for Kenta.
Nice clean answer to Scrap Heap Scrounger. I was thinking he was actually just going to use it on the Sky Sovereign.
Which wouldn't be bad either, but it would
Right.
leave him facing down, again, the annoying threat of the Scrap Heap Scroungers coming back.
Right. But
Now
the
he
Mardu
puts-
vehicles deck, almost all their creatures can crew this Sky Sovereign.
That's
so,
right. Yeah, I think the
Wow.
Inspector is the only one that can't. So this is actually a interesting moment here because Kenta has to kind of hold his breath because Takeshi's going to be like,
It's like, all right,
play anything and
please
just whack
draw
ya.
lands. He doesn't even want to see a Thraben Inspector. That just gives him another card.
Yeah.
Is it a threat?
Yeah,
Is
really
it a
all
threat?
he
It's
wants are
custom-
lands.
Oh.
No, it's not. He's got the garage full of empty cars. Drivers wanted.
Please.
Kenta has to breathe a sigh of relief.
Kenta needs to draw a threat here. He needs to put some pressure on Takeshi here. Takeshi just wants creatures.
Man, Kenta has just scrapped his way through this game.
Okay, all right, what is this?
Chandra.
Oh, he had a Chandra?
Is that good? He made mana with it and has Glorybringer,
okay.
and now he's on the offensive.
All right, just like, all right, please. This
is
huge.
the one turn.
This is so huge. He needs to find it this
Takeshi,
turn.
tap the top of that
Come
library,
on.
get a 3-powered
Did
creature
we get
in there.
it? He slow rolled himself kind of. What is it? Oh, this is not good, right?
Not good for Takeshi.
That is not good for Takeshi.
Though he
Maybe
does
it's a disintegration,
seem to
I
be
don't know.
Yeah, I got that feeling too when he pulled that Spire to the front.
He has an if near Deadlands, and he does have the Shafet Dunes, so he can sacrifice the Dunes to get the Glorybringer down to a 2/2. And the next turn, he can use the Deadlands to finish off the Glorybringer, if he wanted. I mean, if this is a creature, like, you just... What?
Oh, it's PNLR. He was re-slow rolling.
What was that?
Got him back.
What's going on here?
He's like, remember that Abrade, buddy? Oh, here's PNLR. And that is going to allow him
Wow.
to jump in the boat here.
What?
And he's actually considering who he wants to attack. This is kind of interesting. The default play is just to take out Chandra, right?
Right. But he could also just attack Kenta and get Chandra down to 2. Maybe. That's an option.
He has to assume that the Glorybringer can reduce him down to no longer being able to crew next turn.
Right.
And we'll have to account for that. And if that's the case,
I
really just
actually
have to
think you
kill
want to get
Chandra.
Kenta down to 4.
Really?
Yeah, because this means that if Kenta opts to attack with the Glorybringer, Takeshi, all he needs to do is just draw another creature, and that would just finish off Kenta. So the Sky Sovereign, when it attacks, dealt 3 damage to Chandra.
And he
getting
did
it down
attack
to-
Kenta.
And he did attack Kenta. So
Okay.
now Kenta's put to the test here, right? It's like, if he attacks with the Glorybringer and doesn't find an answer, he's just going to lose. All right, so we have a Rogue Refiner. Probably playing it. Needs to find an answer.
Huge pressure on Kenta Harane at this point.
Yeah. I mean, this Sky Sovereign is going to get you. It's possible Kenta's best play here is to just get that Pia off the board and just attack with the Glorybringer. That will leave Takeshi with just the Thopter and would have to top deck.
But how can he get Pia off the board? Just
By attacking with
it,
exerting with
and
the
just
Glorybringer.
leaving it exerted and kind of out of commission. Okay.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the same time, so if he keeps this back,
Then what?
if he keeps this back, it's bad. The reason being, you can sack PNLR to make a creature not block. So
Oh,
actually, he
yeah.
has to attack. Yeah, he has to
He
attack.
must attack.
Yeah. Unless he has a removal spell in hand, like an Abrade or something.
But it does get interesting, right? If he attacks, kills Pia,
Yep.
then
This is
once again,
close.
Takeshi is going to have to find something.
He needs a creature.
Wow,
He needs a
haymakers
creature.
back
Or
and
actually,
forth.
unlicensed disintegration is also an out here. Right?
Yes,
Because
he can
Thopter
attack
deals
for
1.
All right.
Disintegration deals 3.
Can he hit it?
Creature, unlicensed disintegration.
Non-land something.
Yeah. And he could use the Shafet Dunes to pump the Thopter, but that's only 2 power.
He could do it over the next 2 turns.
He could, but the Chandra is currently at 3.
So it could actually
He could use
kill
the
it.
Chandra to get rid of the
Yeah,
Thopter
of
next turn
course,
if he
of
wanted
course.
to. Oh, so close.
He's pulled 1 white mana aside. Maybe he has 3.
Yeah, Thraben Inspector would do it.
Oh,
that doesn't. Who
he
got this
has
far?
it.
Wow, he just look.
Wow,
what is
he's
this?
a brute. Yeah.
This is brutal.
I mean, there are 2 cards in hand for Kenta, but it's not like you're not playing
just
it.
like played in. Yeah.
Trigger. Oh, he has Harness Lightning.
So so the trigger can go on the stack.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Now, Kenta could have used it to kill one of the vehicles, but he's going to use it to just shut them both down and mean that Takeshi only gets to get in with the Thopter this turn.
And where is the stop they're going? I think you want to...
I like just getting him to 3, right? You said it opens up unlicensed disintegration as an out. Also, we should see Takeshi use an If Near Deadlands here, right?
Yes.
Because that sets him up to not get hit by Glorybringer again. Like in the case that next turn he just draws nothing.
Right. I mean, yeah, so the Thopter's getting in. Okay.
Down to 3.
If Near Deadlands on probably the Glorybringer. The Rogue Refiner not doing a whole lot here. He could just choose to get it off the board if he thinks it's a racing situation. Okay, so he does opt to do that.
Wow, that means the Glorybringer, though, could get another attack in this game.
Yep. And Kenta has a couple of draws here
right now.
So sacrificing the Shafet Dunes did take away Takeshi. What Takeshi could have drawn that could have also won in the game was a Thraben Inspector. If he draws and plays Thraben Inspector, sacrifices Shafet Dunes, pumps his team, then crews one of his flyers, that's lethal. That is no longer an option now because he sacrificed the Shafet Dunes over the If Near Deadlands.
Interesting.
All right. What do we got? Boom. Okay. Is the Scarab God time? This is so close. Okay, Takeshi needs a creature here.
He's got to have it.
He needs a creature. Thraben Inspector would feel really bad, but Unlicensed Disintegration also will do it.
Oh, he picked up mana very quickly.
Is this a Gideon? Thought-Knot's here? That's 4 mana.
Gideon works, right? Thought-Knot's here.
Gideon.
It's Gideon.
Gideon means he can double crew. He can make a 2/2, crew the Sky Sovereign, remove a loyalty counter, crew the Heart of Kirin, 2 lethal attackers.
Oh, what a draw for Takeshi. Boom, he wins the game. And that means we've got game 3 on the way, so let's hit that right away. Again, cool part. We don't have to wait for shuffling or anything.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Let's just go straight on to the third game.
Yeah. Are you ready for it yet?
My heart can't take it. Takeshi keeps low rolling me. Wow. That was intense. Yeah, whenever I see the turn 1 Ether Hub, you just know an Attune is coming. So Takeshi did bring in Gideon, at least for game 2. It might just be better than Thought-Knots here in the matchup because the Teamer deck is just kind of good at gumming up the ground. So like a 4/4 ground creature in the face of like Rogue Refiners and stuff just maybe doesn't do a whole lot. Also gets outclassed by Woodland Wanderer.
Yeah. Well, perfect start here for Takeshi.
Yeah, this is the first time he's had a 1-drop.
Yeah. Kenta's had 2 1-drops, but not really perfect, you'd have to say. I mean, this is fine to get his mana going, get some energy rolling, but he's not going to affect the board here.
Yeah. Now, if you want the super ideal start here,
get that heart going.
Get that Heart of Kirin going.
Yeah.
Wow, that struggle to survive. What the shuffle effect? You know, often that's just kind of a throwaway ability. You're mostly playing it for the 3 mana instant speed removal effect. But wow,
2 Scrap Heap Scroungers get shuffled away. Not bad.
Oh, what do we have? There it is.
There it is. Heart of Kirin. Now he's on the draw, but still perfect start here for Takeshi. This is one of the reasons why you play this vehicles deck, for this 1-2 punch right here.
Yep. All right. Can Kenta follow this? Can Kenta have an answer this turn?
Pass.
So
Takeshi draws his card for the turn.
yeah, he has to know that Kenta very likely has some. Wow.
And this is really
and
smart.
the scrap heap
He's
scrounger.
playing this pre-combat so that he can get in with both creatures. It also gives him a backup artifact.
Jeez.
And there's a Braid.
Yep. Still taking 3.
But as you can see, the 3 damage is coming in, and he still has effectively 6 power on the battlefield.
Yeah.
So Kenta's going to drop down to 14.
Needs
But he did have at least an answer to stem the bleeding.
Right. And more importantly, just being able to deal with a large flying creature. Because, again,
Right.
I think the 4-color energy deck can deal
Ta-da!
with some of the ground creatures.
You look smart. He plays a Whirler Virtuoso, which is exactly one of his best ways to just kind of muck it all up on the ground here.
Yeah, great start for both players. The decks are just doing exactly what you, kind of the ideal starts. I guess minus unlicensed disintegration. If he has that here, it would be big. But it doesn't look like he has a mana to actually cast it, even if he did have it.
Okay.
But I think Takeshi does have an Ether Sphere Harvester, which is a nice way to get in through all those annoying little Thopters that the Whirler Virtuoso can create. And I think he can still opt to attack with the Scrap Heap Scrounger here if he wanted to.
Yeah, definitely.
Possibly even both. Yeah.
He does not have the 3rd artifact, but still he's happy to just get in.
So Kenta can opt to make 2 Thopters here and just trade off everything.
Exactly.
Leaving Takeshi with just an Ether Sphere Harvester. But
that is tempting.
That is tempting, but one of the creatures that would go into the graveyard would be Scrap Heap Scrounger, and if Takeshi did find a black source, he could return it, exiling the Toolcraft Exemplar, and still attack with the Ether Sphere Harvester.
Right, and also it means that future energy from Kenta may not have such a great place to go.
Yeah.
This is a nice energy sink.
Right, and Kenta might need blue mana, and currently he's got the Ether Hub, and if he makes 2 Thopters, he's going to be out of blue mana.
I see. Yeah, he could make 2 Thopters and block the Toolcraft Exemplar.
Yeah, blocking the
That's kind of
Exemplar
the middle
seems
ground.
reasonable.
Mm-hmm. He's thinking.
Yeah, this is big.
These players are playing for their seat at the World Magic Cup on the Japan national team with 2
He wishes he had that Chandra emblem on the battlefield.
Absolutely.
Just scrolling through.
You may have to settle for some
I'll make a
Thopters.
Thopter and a Chandra emblem.
That's
your
right.
turn.
The winner of this game gets to play with
The thing
Yuya
is-
Watanabe and Shota Yasuo. Okay.
Yeah. And here it's just making 1 Thopter doesn't really do a whole lot unless do you really want to chump block? If you're going to make a Thopter, you're probably just committing yourself to making 2.
Right.
And question is, where do these Thopters go? Huh. Okay. So he's trading away the Whirler Virtuoso here.
Okay.
Making 3.
He values the 2 Thopters higher than that.
Yep.
Still, he's going to go down to 11.
The Thopters are nice at dealing with planeswalkers. if
Glory
Takeshi might
Bringer.
have it.
Glory Bringer.
Boom.
And he's also attacking, by the way, is Kenta
Yeah.
with all of them. So this is This is 6 damage, leaving Hattori with just the vehicle, nothing to even crew it at the moment.
Yeah, this is a racing situation. Can
Normally-
Takeshi follow something? Follow it up here.
Right. Normally you'd favor the Mardu vehicles in a race, but it looks like Kenta, thanks to Glorybringer, has really swung the tables in his direction.
Takeshi's got a Sky Sovereign, which he could use to shoot one of the Thopters. Oh no, but he just This makes sense.
This is
He played a Spire of
race-changing.
Industry this turn for the black mana to return to Scrap Heap Scrounger.
And now he can get in and get that lifelink rolling
Right.
too, so he doesn't just get ran
Oh,
over.
okay.
Wow, and a Heart of Kirin.
That was big. Takeshi just wants more creatures to crew these giant flyers. It's a Sky Sovereign, and I'm just going to go with Archangel Avacyn, but
Okay.
I'm about 15% on that one.
So solid read from Paul
yeah.
Cheon.
So what is he going to do with these Thopters? Like, is he planning to just like chump with one of them?
He
Like,
kept it back.
I mean, he's at
Yeah.
8 life here.
Yeah, he really does have to mind his life total. No doubt about that.
Oh, okay.
All right. He has another one in the backup, and then he even has a long tusk cub and a land say go.
Okay. All right, Takeshi. What's he got here? So he's got a, okay, so that's Raminep ruins too. That's big. Kenta's already down to 8, and he's got 3 deserts on the battlefield, it looks like. So he's looking at 6 potential damage just from that alone.
Over the course of the next turns.
Yeah, next few turns.
Still, Kenta has a nice board built out here, and he gets his Glorybringer back next turn as well.
Yeah. So Takeshi's going to crew. He's just thinking whether or not he should crew the Heart of Kirin or the Aethersphere Harvester. If he crews the Aethersphere Harvester and uses the energy, he will be out of black mana, which is something to be mindful of. So, like, okay, and he is opting to, because he doesn't have a land that produces black mana, correct? That looks like a Spire and a Shafet Dunes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's a little risky.
Now, he doesn't need it right now, right?
Yeah, but that was his only black source.
I see.
And he has a Scrap Heap Scrounger on the battlefield. What if Kenta deals with that and that's the only creature?
Does he not have?
Oh no,
a
he has
Spire
no
of
other creature in the
Industry?
graveyard. Excuse me?
He does have a Spire though, right?
Oh, sorry, that was a Spire.
Yeah.
That okay. I looked at that incorrectly. I thought that wasn't that was
Ether Hub.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Can Kenta turn this race back in his favor? He, at times, looked like he was ahead in it, but even though he has a far superior board as it sits, it looks a little sketchy for him at the moment.
One card that he has to be really mindful of here is Archangel Avacyn.
Oh.
It would be huge. Takeshi would get to eat the Glorybringer for free, save the Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it would be really, really bad. And
Like, can Kenta even afford to attack then? I mean, he just loses if he has it, right?
Yeah, I mean, he could opt to attack with like a smaller creature, maybe just not the Glorybringer itself.
It's so tempting to attack with Glorybringer, though, when your opponent only has one way to crew their 2 vehicles, and you could actually take that thing off the board with it.
Yeah, Long Tusk Cub is a fairly free attack, as he's got 7 energy, so it's a 5/5.
Look at Takeshi just pull 5 mana aside here. You see that?
Yeah, he's just... Yeah, he does have Archangel Avacyn.
He has it in his hand.
He does. Okay. But I think I might just be tempted to sacrifice a land to just to get Kenta down to 6.
You're right.
And by keeping up Archangel Avacyn mana every single turn, Kenta just can't attack.
Right. Oh, this is a sweet one.
Although I think I kind of like the Long Tusk Cub attacking, just because like it forces Takeshi to play the Archangel Avacyn, and then you can still just make your Cub into a 5/5.
And then you can maybe glory bring it later or interact.
It's like, what is your game plan here to beat this Archangel Avacyn? Are you just waiting until you draw Struggle to survive?
Harness Lightning, something like that.
Yeah. So Kenta's currently sitting on 7 energy, so he can make 2 Thopters. He's got the Glorybringer and the Thopter. I don't think he minds trading off the Heart of Kirin for Glorybringer. So I imagine Takeshi is just going to crew the Heart of Kirin here and just attack again. Probably just going to eat a Thopter. Oh, okay.
He's going to go for Sky Sovereign here, and he's going to kind of force the issue and target the Whirler Virtuoso.
It's like, how many Thopters would you like to make?
Right, and Kenta has to figure out.
Because he has that Long Tusk Cub, and currently that Long Tusk Cub can attack through the Sky Sovereign if he opts not to make Thopters. Because right now, if Kenta doesn't have anything, he can't really attack.
Yeah, Kenta's going to take the more conservative route here, just make 2 more Thopters. Again, just sort of attempting to protect his situation as much as possible, though.
Well, Takeshi, I guess, only has 1 blocker. So if, let's say, Kenta attacks with everything, that's 3, 6, that's 11 damage, assuming Takeshi blocks Glorybringer. So that would be kind of a 2-turn clock. He could also opt to keep some number of Thopters back and just kind of attack with all the ground creatures and be like, all right, we're in a racing situation, let's go. And I think this is kind of the window to attack, especially if you think Takeshi might have Archangel Avacyn. And
everything.
All right, forcing the issue.
He's left himself at 6 life here.
Yeah, so I mean, the only play Takeshi has here is Crew Sky Sovereign.
And eat the Glorybringer?
Or sorry, Crew. You could also Crew Heart of Kirin if you're afraid of maybe Chandra dealing with the Sky Sovereign. So if you Crew the Heart of Kirin, trade with the Glorybringer, or block with one of the other creatures, Takeshi can then untap, play Archangel Avacyn, and attack for 6 with the Sky Sovereign. But I don't think Kenta would make this attack unless he has the backup plan for the Sky Sovereign as well.
Yeah.
He would at least have held back one of those Thopters.
And we know that he's aware of it. Remember, he had a very clean, nice-looking attack, and he's
he definitely
go.
Is reading Takeshi for that Archangel Avacyn.
Right.
Or at least is mindful of the card and playing around it.
It looks like he's gone for the Ether Sphere Harvester to eat a Rogue Refiner here. Or maybe not.
Maybe the Cub.
He might try to take the Cub out while the energy's down.
Yeah.
So it'd have him taking 13 damage, Paul.
I think Kenta is likely holding a Braid. Oh! No, that doesn't do it. A Braid does not do it. Oh, a Braid does it. Sorry, a Braid does it.
Braid does what?
Oh, okay, there you go.
Okay, so there you go. So he just knew I'm going to have at least 2 flying blockers here.
I was going to say a Braid. I was thinking about the interaction between a Braid and Archangel Avacyn.
Gotcha.
That wouldn't actually do it. So
wow, that was a sweet attack by Kenta Harane. Very gutsy, but you can see why he had
wants
the
to end the
backup
game
plan.
here because he knows that Archangel Avacyn's coming, or that there's a possibility of that, and he has access to the 6 energy here, so he can make 2 Thopters.
Harane really making sure that Archangel Avacyn doesn't have a profound effect on this game, and that's a hard thing to do.
Right. Just games 2 and 3, Takeshi was just flooded with vehicles.
Yeah.
Just
look
drivers.
at his board. Drivers wanted. And that's going to do it. Kenta Harane is your 3rd and final slot holder for the World Magic Cup team for Japan. He's going to join Shota Yasuoka and Yuya Watanabe. Welcome back to the booth. We're in Renton covering Japanese nationals. That is going to do it for our semifinal match, but we've got one more to bring you. Is it going to be Shota Yasuoka? Is it going to be Kenta Harane? Who's going to be your national champion for Japan? We'll be back right after these messages.